Wars are fought on the battlefield, but they're won behind closed doors. I'm talking about diplomacy. If you're popular, you win more. If you're isolated, well, not so much. Just ask Ukraine's President Zelensky. His support is mostly in the West. Beyond that, there is sympathy at best, indifference at worst. So what does he do? Try to create new alliances based on different ideas. Clearly, the talk of sovereignty is not helping. So why not try religion? Let me explain. This year, President Zelensky hosted an Iftar event. Iftar is the evening meal. Muslims use it to break their Ramazan fast. This year, Zelensky also participated. He said Ukraine respects the traditions of Ramadan. He also accused Russia of mistreating Crimean Muslims. Listen to this.
Let's not forget that Russia's attempt to enslave Ukraine began from the occupation of our Ukrainian Crimea. From repressions in Crimea of Ukrainians, Crimean Tatars, and of Crimean Muslims.
Now, for the record, he's never done this before. Zelensky was elected in the year 2019. The war began in 2022. So why did the Iftar tradition begin only this year? Maybe it's a late but genuine outreach. Maybe it's a political strategy. Or who knows, maybe a bit of both. Ukraine's Muslim population is just 1%, but in Crimea, they make up more than 12% of the population. And their past is traumatic. In 1944, Crimean Tatar Muslims were forced into exile. They were packed into cattle trains and transported to Central Asia. The reason? Historians are not sure, but some say Soviet leader Stalin was paranoid. He did not want minorities in border areas. It was only after the Soviet Union fell that many of these people returned. My point is, they still hold a grudge. In 2014, Russia held a referendum after invading Crimea. The Muslims boycotted it. Moscow also banned the elected assembly of Tatars. So the dislike is mutual. Could Zelensky be trying to weaponize that, to recruit Crimean Muslims in the war against Russia? That's one possible strategy. The other one is to build support in West Asia. Most of those countries have refused to criticize Russia. Some are actively supporting it. And why is that a problem for Zelensky? Why does he need West Asia? Because of two major factors. Number one, political support. West Asia and North Africa is home to 20-plus countries. If they support Zelensky, it would boost his position, give him more legitimacy. Factor number two, they have leverage. West Asian countries are also oil producers. They have a cartel called OPEC. OPEC plus if you count Russia and others. Guess who's also in the same business? Russia, of course. Most of Moscow's money is coming from energy. If OPEC can clip that, it would help Ukraine. Maybe even slow down the Russian war machine. So support in West Asia is key, which is why Zelensky visited Saudi Arabia last week. He attended the Arab League summit. He asked the member states to criticize Russia. Guess how many did that? None. Zelensky's Islamic outreach is a good idea on paper, but it faces a couple of challenges. One, of course, is realpolitik. West Asian countries are more practical than ever before. They could use Russia's help for a number of reasons: to keep Syria stable, to put indirect pressure on Iran, to fix oil prices. Ukraine offers none of that. Secondly, there is no political outcry for the Muslims in Ukraine. It may sound heartless, but it's true. Why does the Arab world stand with Palestine? At least on paper, they do. Because there is support among their citizens. Well, that's not the case in Ukraine. For most West Asian citizens, the war in Ukraine doesn't impact them. In fact, the oil price rise enriches them. If you think that's cruel, well, don't. These same Western countries have invaded, partitioned and hurt West Asia. There was no outrage then. But coming back to Zelensky, if he's really playing the Islamic card, it's no surprise. Wartime leaders should try everything. Plus, hosting an Iftar dinner is encouraging, war or no war. As for the outcome, we haven't seen anything yet. The Arab League invitation was a good start. Let's see if something concrete comes out of it.